Village Council meeting, June 13th, 2016. This time I'd like to call the meeting to order. Hello, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we want to the approval of the agenda, please.
Mr. President, I have two requests, if I may. One is, can we add the real-life license training to the agenda, please?
No, not at this point.
Thank you. And then the second one, down in new business under fiscal year budget, resolution 2016-10, and then underneath that is 2016-11, compensation administrative office. Shouldn't 11 be 10? So if you're going to approve that, that's actually going into the budget, so that should probably be approved first to go into the budget. Well,
We change it if you like. Let's go ahead and switch those around. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I'm ready. Good evening, Mr. Baldwin. I've got an update based upon pending litigation. The Village of Goodrich and Mr. Baldwin have been sued for violation of the Open Meetings Act. Essentially, it is alleged that the unanimous vote to go to closed session was invalid. Secondly, there was no legal written opinion as the basis for going into the closed session. And three, there is and has been an ongoing and illegal practice of going into closed session absent written legal opinion of counsel. These are serious allegations. I'm meaning to preliminarily address these issues, or have the council preliminarily address these issues this evening. We can then move to an examination as to whether there was any reasonable inquiry as the basis for these allegations, and whether these serious allegations have any basis in fact, let alone the requirement that the allegations be well-grounded in fact. Tonight's agenda should be amended to add immediately following the approval of the agenda, first, a motion to reenact the May 9, 2016 vote to go into closed session, and secondly, a motion to waive attorney-client privilege as to the May 3 and May 7 confidential opinion of counsel, which were the vehicle for going into closed session. Michigan law provides that in any case where an action has been initiated to invalidate a decision of a public body on the ground that it was not taken in conformity with the requirements of this act, the public body may, without being deemed to make any admission contrary to its interest, reenact the disputed decision in conformity with this act. The decision reenacted in this manner shall be effective from the day of the reenactment and shall not be declared invalid by reason of any deficiency in the procedure used for its initial enactment. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm suggesting that there be a motion to reenact the May 9, 2016 vote to go into closed session with a motion, support, and a roll call vote. I'm suggesting that there be a motion to waive the attorney-client privilege as to the May 3 and May 7 confidential opinion of counsel for each item, with motion, support, and a roll call vote. I'm working from a script because it's pending litigation, and that's how this should proceed.
Mr. President, question, please. If you could Mr. McKinney put that in layman's terms?
I've explained it. I'm not going beyond the script.
And also, there is also, and I gave you and Mrs. McCafferty a manual of the Open Meetings Act a few months ago. You will find what he is talking about in there. So with that said, we need a motion for the agenda, and then I will move on with the closed session.
And if I could, one more thing on the agenda. On our last meeting, we had spoke about you having the ability to have keys to buildings, and we were short a few people, and we're going to continue that discussion at this meeting, and I didn't see that under unfinished business.
Because of the length of this agenda, I'm going to wait until next month.
When you approve the agenda, I would ask that you add the motion to reenact and the motion to waive attorney-client privilege.
So I will I move that the village council meet in closed session under section 8 of the Open Meetings Act to consult with the village attorney in regards to the written opinion of council regarding the Meyer salt spreader and the changing of the village meetings time. I am looking for support.
Excuse me, but we didn't approve the agenda with those additions. There was no motion.
We do this prior to adapting the,
I would
approve the agenda.
approve the agenda with those changes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and do that first then. So we are looking for a motion to approve tonight's agenda as presented.
No,
With-
with the additions.
With the amended additions. I'm looking for support.
Okay,
Roll call.
Mark made the motion.
right, no, just to clarify, we have 4 changes, correct? The addition of reluctance, which.
No,
No, that is, no, I have to add it, because he requested it, I have to add that in.
I'm sorry.
The switch of the 2016-11 and 2016-10, or just reversing those, the motion to reenact and the motion to waive.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Now we also have to do a roll call,
Okay,
please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yeah.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
No.
Baldwin.
Yes. All right, so with that, I will continue now with, I move that the village council meet in closed session under section 8 of the Open Meetings Act to consult with the village attorney in regards to the written opinion of council regarding the Meyer salt spreader and the changing of the village meeting times. I'm looking for support.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
No.
Baldwin.
Yes. Second one is, I move that the village waive its attorney-client privileges to the confidentiality of opinion of council dated May 3rd and May 7th, 2016. That's what I'm looking for support. Support. Roll call, please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yeah.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes. In fact, the 2 attorney opinion letters that are alleged not to have existed are public record. And they now can have our attorneys move in to investigate the bias of the allegations in the complaint that there is no written legal opinion as the bias for going into closed session, and there is and has been an ongoing and illegal practice of going into closed session absent a written legal opinion of counsel. On the advice of counsel, there will be no further comment. And with that said, Mr. McKinney, I appreciate you coming in here. I guess I can say thank you very much and good evening.
May be excused. Thank you.
So the public hearing, the property tax millage rate proposed to be levied to support the 2016-17 budget. Let's move on to the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting, May 9th, 2016, as presented.
Excuse me, you have to call that meeting to order and let the clerk speak.
All right, I will repeat that again. This is under the public hearing. The property tax millage rate proposed to be levied in support to the 2016-2017 budget. Is there anything?
Is this public talking time? Can I go? Diane Frederick, 7476 Terra Court. The first thing I'd like to address is, I was led to believe that the purpose of the village council was that the people on the council representing and doing what would be best and what the residents wished. Not the employees of the village, the residents, or the taxpayers. It'd be nice to have what we thought, heard, acknowledged, and dealt with. It's hard being ignored and still getting the tax bill. The tax millage rate to be levied. There's nothing really happening here to raise our taxes. There should be no reason for our millage to be raised. with regard to the employees getting raises. If they don't feel they're being compensated enough, they're welcome to leave. There is nowhere where they can go earning the money they're earning right now and get away with the work that they're doing right now. And I know this because I am a recruiter. I put people to work every day. The people are given the amount that they're gonna earn, and they go out and they earn it. That's not happening here in the village. And as a resident, I'm a little bit fed up with paying for it. So I wish that you as a village council would listen, acknowledge that, and recognize that when it comes time to acknowledge and give those raises, or not give those raises, because if they're not making enough money, they're welcome to leave and find another job, for one. For two, we are also in violation of the Health Insurance Act in the state, where as an employer, not charging them to pay for their benefits. They should get to pay for something. It's supposed to happen. It's against the law that we're not making them do it. We're breaking the law every time we don't charge them and they're getting health care. Also, you should not raise our millage to support any of this because nothing is happening here in this village that we should be paying for having our taxes raised. I hope that you're hearing me. I hope that you're listening because I'm not the only one that thinks this way. The room's got a lot of people in here who think the same way. Thank you.
I've brought this issue up to your attention many times, and I'd really like to know who's responsible for updating the village's website. Once again, the minutes on the website are not updated, but since the last council meeting, May 9th, which you would have approved the April minutes, there have been over 14 posts on Facebook. It's on the agenda, it's the minutes.
This is
And-
public hearing. This is public.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Well, okay then, let's turn it into the raises. If you're gonna give raises and what if you're considering that, obviously we got somebody who's slacking in their job and it really needs to be addressed because the only time it's updated is when I come up here and bring it up and ask that they be updated. So somebody could maybe encourage somebody to take care of that, I'd appreciate it.
Anyone else? I don't think, let's go through it.
Motion to close public hearing?
The approval of the minutes from the regular meeting, May 9th. Any discussion? Looking for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of May 9th, 2016.
Stuart. Roll call, please.
Kurt Lewis.
Yes.
McCaffrey. Yes. Emery.
Yes.
Dick.
Yes.
Feldman.
Yes. Special council meeting, May 23rd, 2016.
Date on,
Let's get something.
the agenda is fine, the date on the minutes
Minutes
should
are
read
wrong.
like the 23rd.
Any other questions on that? Any more discussion? I'll make a motion, we accept it.
Support.
With the fact that it's changed to May 23rd. Roll call.
Horton.
Yes.
McCaffrey. Yeah. Emery.
Yes.
Dick.
Yes.
Feldman.
Yes. Special council meeting, May 31st, 2016.
That's the second one, let's see what part that says the 23rd. Because you got one that says the 21st and one that says the 23rd. So we changed one to the 23rd, the other one going to the 31st? Or you have two on the 23rd? Okay, the one to the 24th, supposed to be the 33rd.
Yeah,
It's the other way.
33rd.
Okay, we just did that.
We just did that. It's 23rd,
Got it.
31st.
Thank you.
I always go through this. Okay, now we're all set. We'll have the same date, age. So I'm looking for a motion for the special
May 30th? Make a motion, we accept the
31st.
minutes of May 31st. Special council meeting. accept the treasurer's report for June 13, 2016.
Support. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
No.
Baldwin.
Yes. The bills and transfers, which would be the one sheets here. Questions? Looking for a motion to support. Motion and support.
Make the motion, we accept bills and transfers from 0501 to 2016 to 0531, 2016.
Support.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes. Public comment, agenda items, 3 minutes, please. Forward, John.
Katie Vick. I wanted to address some concerns I have. There's been some plantings in the park that I have concern about. There's a couple of trees that have been put in that were never brought to the Parks and Rec Committee. And as far as I can tell, there's never been brought to the board for any approval. And my concern is they're on top of the sledding hill, and the one tree that was planted there is actually in the way of where that rope is, where people can drive down the hill. And maybe that's not the plan to ever use it again, but the tree is actually in the way of that, about, 4 feet down from the rope. And, I mean, if we're allowing people to just plant things on our village property wherever they wish, we're gonna get into a situation where people can also come along and tear them apart or rip them out, like, the village needs to take control and have reins on what gets planted, when and where and how, because it's the village's job to maintain trees when they fall down, when they break, anything that could happen if they're in the way of the electrical lines. So I'm requesting that either the DPW or somebody get those trees removed. I think they're in the wrong place. There's one pine tree, actually there's 2 pine trees, and it's an issue for visibility. You want to keep sightlines open and not have obstructions, because it's a danger where people can be lurking. And having pine trees or any sort of low shrubs or big bushes is a concern. The Parks and Recs committees and groups and counties and Parks and Recs associations frown on that kind of planting. They recommend things with canopies or low to the ground, so that there isn't places for people to be lurking. Any sort of, I think they call them dark zones, actually. And then I'm also questioning the electrical outlets. I don't know if those are new outlets that were just put in, but I don't recall those being a part of the original plan to run the electrical to the park. So maybe if somebody could just clarify if that was part of the original plan, or if somebody made the decision to add those. Because I feel like those are something else, if we take out the courts, which we're gonna have a drain project coming through there, those might, cost us more money later. And then lastly, I'd like to say, I have a concern over the attorney. For him to be representing us on a lawsuit regarding an Open Meetings Act violation that he was participated in, when you only have 3 council members, your attorney and an administrator, you should be well advised and be sure that you're in every compliance for Open Meetings Act. And when our own village attorney is part of that Open Meetings Act violation, I think it would be wise to seek outside counsel, especially in a case where our attorney may have a direct conflict of interest, because he might be more interested in saving himself than what his concerns might be with our village. So, and also, what about an insurance claim on that? Because I know we used insurance on the last lawsuit. Have we discussed any sort of insurance that we can turn this over to for an attorney there? Thank you.
Mr. Baldwin, question I have for you regarding the treasurer's report. Monday,
after month since we took on that construction bond of 2013, and we've completed the Dutch Road Bridge and Erie Street. We've had a balance there, and my question to you is, that amount there that continues to be in this account should be applied to the principal of that bond. Because what you took the bond out, you've completed, and the remaining balance according to the bond, because I did FOIA that, states that the remaining balance should be placed onto the principal. And I would hope that you look into it.
Anyone else? All right, our unfinished business, the Genesee County Sheriff Department. Comments on this? Okay, and we'll go right along to the reports of the street administrator, and waste and water parks and recs. Street administrator, if you will.
The power has been hooked up, consumers did get it into the building. They should be working on it probably tomorrow or the next day to get all circuits up and running. The well will be hooked up, the tank has been put in. The well will be sanitized and pumped for a couple days. And then we'll do 3 different checks, check the water. And the water passes, it'll be usable. If it doesn't, there'll be no water in the park properly until you put in a new well. It's a very shallow well, and it flows all the time, and it may not pass. I believe it probably won't, but that's the reason the drinking fountain was taken 1 years ago, I believe, but I'm not positive. I wasn't involved in it then, but they've been trimming around signs, and I think they've come up with 7 catch basins that's got to be repaired so far, as they check them. A couple of driveway approaches have to be repaired due to the catch basins that cracked the driveway approaches. We're getting on with summer business. That's basically all I have.
Mrs. Sitch?
911 tomorrow. Water and waste, they're looking at a change in the ordinance that we'll have to deal with. Everybody uses the same ordinance for water and waste. Parks and Recs, they did not meet last month. So I don't have anything from them to report.
Poison ivy. Poison ivy.
We're looking into removing poison ivy from the banks of the park, as well as a couple other areas down by the bridges and down on Oak Street. I haven't done anything. I talked to Ethan today, and he said you can buy poison ivy spray. So I might just do that instead of hiring somebody.
So they're good times in Goodrich.
Hi, Jim Green, Jen McKenzie from Good Times in Village. We're trying to get, as always, Erie Street closed, so we're looking for, proposing what barrels we're gonna need this year. So Pete's always been really good with us, so I think we're gonna need a few more
Barrels or barricades?
barricades, so we can shut Erie right down.
Bit of both, a bit of both, if you.
Oh, okay.
Also, we're requesting, because the high volume of people that we have coming in the park, that the village would respectfully spray for mosquitoes. A lot of diseases coming around with the bugs and everything. If they could spray for the festival this year, that'd be very much appreciated.
And is there any, did the dumpster get back in the park, or is that been removed?
It's removed.
Is there any way it could be put back for that day or something? The amount of garbage cans that we usually empty for that, so we keep the park the way we got it.
You want garbage?
cans.
We need a dumpster.
We need a
Yeah.
dumpster, we fill the dumpster. So if we could have a dumpster.
That'd be correct, thank you.
Is there any way you could get volunteers to keep them trash cans empty before they get full?
We do.
I know, but,
No, I know, that's always.
I got people filling them, and I don't, when I'm cooking, I don't have time to empty them.
Yeah, we're trying, we've approached the schools and try to have them come out and help with some volunteer hours. It's always been a struggle. My committee has grown over the last 2 years. We are getting bigger and hopefully not as many of us will have to empty garbage cans.
Because, I get as many as I can, because while I'm cooking, people are throwing their stuff
Oh,
out.
I know.
We should have some, I'm hoping to have 10 additional cans added there, so we're big enough too. So with your help, that'd be great. We can make the festival a better event and keep growing with cooperation, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
I received an email from the Summers regarding closing, Pontiac, Seneca, and Ridge Road for the parade.
For the parade, yes.
Council has to make a motion regarding closing that street, if that's what they wanna do. And then the Erie Street, they're gonna talk to the individuals again, and decide that it's
We
fine
normally,
to do that.
we normally only close it, we've tried to close it to the, I don't know the gentleman's name, but lives at the back of the park.
In Blue House?
Yeah, that has the road track van park there. We try to close it,
Right there by here.
yeah, so,
We go up to his driveway.
driveway,
Yep.
so he can still
So
get
we
in
don't-
and out,
we don't-
so it's, and I can't see that having to
So you're
change.
going further down this year, just to that.
It's not planned.
It's not planned at this stage, so we would like, you know,
Bunch of
it's-
council
and that
members
way
and
it
their
just,
houses there.
yeah, so that way we're not in, we're not,
And I think the car show kind of dictates how much of the road we've been using, so, and with the bus garage, so they've been really helpful.
so those roads that Mrs. Summers sent you that email on will only be closed for the duration of for the parade, yes.
What's the road now?
It's nothing that's changed. It's, we're
I don't think we've closed those.
Oh, you just want it closed off at the intersection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Bridge and.
You gonna have police
Seneca.
officers there or volunteers?
yes.
Yes,
Absolutely,
You want barricades there?
Yes,
yes, please. Just for the safety of everybody, absolutely.
So Seneca, both sides, Pontiac, and Ridge, right?
mhm,
That's what we did the last couple of years.
correct.
Okay.
And you need to have a discussion regarding the mosquito spray. In the past, they've sprayed for mosquitoes, the village has not done that.
I would just assume you guys would spray it again too, with my personal feelings.
Well, if you don't ask, you don't get, do you?
That's one way I look at it.
Well, I think the reason we're asking is we're trying to keep the park too, and being a nonprofit, we are a little short on funds too, so that's why we came through.
Mr. President, there's a product that Tractor Supply sells, comes in about a quart, about $30-some, called Wisdom TC, environmental friendly. Probably just 2 of those for the park. Use a half bottle of that per 25 gallons, and it takes care of the mosquitoes. It is a very cheap cost.
My point was that we had talked about spraying the village for mosquitoes, and I had a lot of people who weren't very receptive to it. Mixed feelings, so that's kind of why I was a little bit hesitant to
Sure.
the village.
But I think the amount of people that are gonna be in the park, that's all
We
we.
don't get any rain, you ain't gonna have any.
You don't want any.
That is,
Council, I guess, must be up to you, but I really have no clue where this is going.
Well, does the DPW have the capability, do they have a sprayer?
I wouldn't want our DPW to do it. If you're gonna have it done, I think we should professionally.
Yeah, I would trust me.
How much is it then? Years past?
$154.
There's people who are very concerned about it. Let anybody spray. If the council wants to do it, the council has to hire someone.
You contact them.
He is licensed, insured.
No, he's using the same product that I'm talking about, that you can buy at Tractor Supply, that don't need a license to purchase.
I don't know if we'd open Pandora's box on that one or not. thing, I would think we'd be inheritance from liability. Why don't you just see if you can do it, if you can't get back to us.
All right, no, that's fine, that's fine. I said if you didn't know, it's been good.
Yeah, I understand.
Is there anything else that you need from us, any other information, or? I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry.
Let me translate.
Yeah, you translate.
Do you need anything from us?
Just keep sending me an email of what you're doing, and the council should make it, a motion to close the street.
Make a motion for the date of Saturday, August 6th, barricades go up on Bridge, Seneca on both sides of Pontiac before the parade starts, which is 10 a.m.
Support. Roll call, please.
Courtney?
Yes.
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Maureen?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Baldwin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else, let us know.
Thank you.
Clarification, Mr. President, are we gonna add a dumpster for them down there?
Yes, Jack, you can go. You're gonna go ahead and get it done. I assume like a 20-yarder or something, Pete, what are they doing?
10.
So we can get a bigger one. I mean, we took that out, so.
It seemed like in the past, we had two of them down there. One was down there, then they brought in another.
They brought in
But you had 2 tons. And
they had 2 tents.
I think we should go. Agreed anymore, or 2 tons?
Just get
Two
tents
tents.
because they got lids on them, so.
Then they can put them in different places too. They want them dropped off.
They will fill up.
We're all set with that? Code enforcement.
I've got a home business complaint that is pending meeting with the attorney regarding what we can do. It's been there a few years now, and it's out of hand, so I'm meeting with the attorney on that one. I have a signed complaint, and that's pending the attorney's opinion on that signed complaint. We're working with that. And I've got a structured demo permit, which we've been working for a couple of years on a barn. I've talked to the contractor, so this summer and maybe a little bit in the fall, the barn will be gone. So unless there's questions to me, that's what I've got for you guys.
Counsel? Thank you very much.
I have a question. I have a question for you.
Hold on,
He asked
I'll get to that.
No, he asked.
Oh, I don't care what he asked for.
Oh.
Counsel.
Pardon me?
We're good. You all set? Thank you.
That's not.
Then we're going to go right on to the administrative, the Mortello lawsuit, budget amendment meeting.
Handle that.
We're pretty much through with that. Let's cross that one on off.
We need to, set a meeting for the end of the month, just in case we need to do budget amendments, like the 27th, which is a Monday, or the 28th, which is a Tuesday. We don't need to do budget amendments at the end of the year, then we don't need to have it, but, we need to set it. Before, I think people said Tuesdays were a good day. There is not a planning commission on the 27th, which is a Monday.
Either days work for me.
Pardon me?
Either day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of that week work for me.
We were doing 5 o'clock. It's up to you guys.
28 would be best. On my side.
The what?
28.
28. Or Tuesday seems to work all around.
Yeah.
5 o'clock, good? Beneficial?
No.
So be it.
Just a reminder to the audience that the next meeting, the meetings will begin at 6 p.m. I've had a request from somebody, an inquiry about the mill pond spraying. Has anyone given any more thought to doing that this year?
I haven't really checked it out. Up on this end, it doesn't look bad at all right now. Was it the other end they wanted to spray? Basically, where we can't spray because there ain't enough water.
like to discuss that at a meeting. I'm not prepared to bring in anything from the Clean Air Act or anything, but we can put that on the agenda because I would like to look into the earning and burying of debris in the village.
The other one was regulating when fireworks can go off. And we're gonna miss July, but we're gonna fireworks other times. Whether they can go off 24 hours a day or the day before and the day after holidays. I know the township has an ordinance for that, and I'm not too sure what it's
I think it would be good to follow their lead, maybe.
and bring it to the next meeting. All right. And Mr. McKinney has indicated that he is not able to work on the pending lawsuit with Mrs. Wortella, and has recommended that Mike Gildner, who we've all worked with before, step in. Mike is willing to do what is necessary. Not sure how much involvement he would have because it is turned over to the insurance company. So I would like approval to work with Mike.
I make a motion, to have approval to work with Mike on the,
Support.
You don't even know anything.
Question, Mr. President, are we not turning it over to the insurance? Is there a reason why we're not turning it over to the insurance?
We did turn it over to the insurance.
The insurance is refusing to handle it?
No. It's in preliminary. But we need to have an attorney to work with us if there's a need to do it.
Nobody even knows who this
We
attorney is.
might need a little bit of direction, but once again, at this point, on the juncture, I don't see an awful lot.
Why not? It's our
Can we-
business.
Jeez.
It's a pending litigation.
Can we, does this have to be done now, or is it something we can do at the 28th meeting if we have? And I asked that so we could get some credentials on the guy, so, I mean, when they're making.
Well, Mike just works with the
He's handled other issues for us over the past few years. Would be the best person to work with us. He's familiar with the village and some of the issues.
I would say.
I don't know that it would be beneficial to wait.
No,
That's up to you guys.
I think we should probably have somebody on board. Mike has been here in the past. If it goes, if anything continues to go, he's going to be working with the insurance company anyway, so.
There was a motion by Rick and supported by Pete.
Do we have any other discussion on it? Are we good
I
with
just,
that?
Do you want
Mike,
if needed added to that?
I'm sorry.
Do we want that you're hiring him if needed?
Yes, if you,
Okay.
I thought that was the motion.
I just don't know who the gentleman is, and I would have a hard time supporting the motion without having any additional information on it. I understand what you're saying, and I respect what your guys' opinion is of it, but I don't.
He has served the village in the past.
you know, he's a very, very good attorney, very qualified, so.
He worked with us.
He's done-
He's done several things.
Biggest controversy we've ever seen, he's involved in.
Any other discussion? So, motion and support, roll call please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
No.
Walkover.
Guess all we have is the sidewalks, correct?
And
Good. All right, then let's move on to new business. That's what we do, talking about our resolutions.
can we go over what these are?
We sure can.
This is a resolution that we passed every year. This allows Noreen to collect taxes through February instead of sending them down to the county and they get any of the delinquent charges. We collect them here until March 1st. So we're looking for a motion to pass resolution 2016-6.
Make a motion to adopt resolution number 2016-6, extension of local taxes.
Support.
Roll call please.
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yeah.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
2016-7 is to put delinquent sewer charges on the tax bill for collection. Again, we do that every year.
Make a motion, we accept resolution 2016-7, delinquent sewer charges collection on the tax bill.
Support, roll call please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yeah.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
2016-08 is delinquent weed collection. We do it every year when people don't pay for their weeds to be cut. It goes on the tax bill. Or they don't cut them themselves.
Make a motion to adopt resolution number 2016-8, delinquent weed collections.
Support.
Roll call please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yeah.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
The next is the village tax rate that remains the same since 2005. And now therefore be it resolved, it should say 216 and 217. I kind of went to 265 on that one.
Discussion?
Just for clarification, this is also stating that the millage rate is not going up,
That was the millage rate that the budget was prepared for.
and there was no raise in the millage rate as
No,
well.
there wasn't.
Make a motion to adopt Village of Goodrich Resolution 2016-9, general operation millage rate.
Support.
Roll call please.
Horton,
Yes.
Yeah.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Switching the next two around, the compensation for administrative officers. This was prepared from the last budget meeting we had with a 2% increase. The administrative officers are myself, Ethan Campbell, and Norrie Heisler, the treasurer.
Question, Mr. President, how come the other employees are not included on here? Is it because they're not 40-hour employees?
No, because the charter requires us to have this resolution. The other sheets that I gave you have the employees on there.
Oh, it is, okay. Thank you.
Looking for a motion.
Make a motion, we accept the Village of Goodrich resolution 2016-11.
Support?
Support.
Roll call please.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yeah.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
No.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Fiscal year budget you have before you on the screen. The check marks that I have on this budget represent some changes that were made as a result of the last meeting. Do you want me to go through all these?
Let's go through the changes, please.
On page 1, the bottom check, miscellaneous income represents the money that the staff, the 10%, well, 5% to finish off the year till December, and then 10% of the repayment of the insurance payments. So that added $1,200 to the income.
Question on that, Jackie, if I may, please. I'm trying not to do too many through this. But for 2015-16, because you're stating that this is the income that's coming in from your share of the health insurance, correct?
From 7/1 to 11/30 under the current rate of 5%, and then from 12/1 to 6/30, 10%.
Okay. Because what I was looking at, because for last year, for 2015-16, we're at 1426, and I just would have thought, and maybe I'm not understanding, but we're only budgeting for 1,200, even though we increased the amount of money
Miscellaneous
that's coming up.
income fluctuates, and I don't remember what came in this year that put two, the secretary wages and the retirement reflect the 2% raise. And the clerk, again, the retirement and the wage represents the 2%.
So if I get for the retirement, because I know that was a question that came up, how is the retirement set, if you will? So when I was looking at some of the sheets, some people are only getting $500 toward retirement, some are getting $900, and others, or one other person is getting like $4,000. So how was that determined on the amount
I
that is
get
set?
8% of my wage. Tracy gets 5%, Ethan 5%, Matt 5%, Noreen and Pat 3%.
And then was that set by a previous council for those, and it just hasn't been discussed for the retirement?
Yeah, it was 10 years ago, 12 years ago. We never discussed it on a yearly basis. What was set up.
No, and I understand that, and just what I was looking at when we go to a 2% raise. I mean, for me, I was under the impression that it was just for wages in general, and not necessarily going to influx into the retirement as well, so I mean, that's another additional cost that should have been considered.
Any paperwork that I've given you throughout the entire thing reflects the same information. Any more discussion on that? Page 2. Page 3, property wages. A reduction in property wages because the gardener will not be on there. Mill Pond spraying, I put the $4,000 in there just in case you decide that you want to do that. The building secretary wages again reflects the 2% raise in there. The code enforcement officer's wages reflect 2% also. Have to check them. Any questions on page 3? Going to page 4, I increased the transfer to minor roads after having a couple of discussions with
referring to the construction 2013 loan?
Yeah. Going on to page 14, sewer fund, usage fees, reflects the actual amount. Now the sewer fund miscellaneous income, again, that's the payback for the 5 and 10%. Going on to page 15, the retirement was changed, reflecting the 2% raise for the secretary, which is Tracy, the administrative assistant. The clerk, the total wages changed, and it leaves $4,680 positive fund balance in the sewer fund. And again, nothing else changed on the next 2 pages. Anybody have any questions, concerns?
Make a motion that resolution 2016-10 for 2016 to 2017 fiscal year budget.
Yes, support.
Roll call.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
No.
Baldwin.
Yes.
The next resolution is the election of the council clerk. To appoint Patricia Sherrill as the council clerk.
Have we had any other nominations come in or anybody show interest to it?
Nobody shows interest in it, including that now.
Motion to adopt resolution 2016-12, election of county clerk.
Support.
Horton,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
You didn't have time?
Why not? You're on a roll.
The next item, there are 2 properties that the Genesee County owns, and they would like to get rid of them so they don't have to go to auction later in the fall. One is landlocked property, they call it off of Schuman Drive, you could say Schuman or Dutch Road. We could purchase that property, it's adjacent to the property that Genesee County is in the process of purchasing for the park. That will be a Genesee County park. That is $2,262.93. And then there's a parcel on Fairview Drive, that's $5,056. We have to let them know by July 5th if they're interested in purchasing these properties. If you want to learn anything more about it or go visit, we could take care of that on the meeting on the 28th. They don't give you a whole lot of time for trying to figure these out. Last year, I think we had the property out on Rose Road, and we weren't not interested in that. If we wanted to purchase the property off of Sherman Drive, we could donate that to the park system for Genesee County. I haven't verified that, but I would assume that they would be more than happy to take it. That's why we
What
received
piece of property is it on?
The what? I can't hear.
Pearson's property, is that the right of way?
Mansfield Pearson property.
Oh, that's that piece back in the woods?
Yeah, the
It's the
railroad,
swamp.
whatever went through this.
Is it
It used to be
landlocked?
very,
a
a
landlocked.
landlocked piece of property.
And I don't think probably anybody has the slightest idea where it's at. I think we should maybe Google Earth, look, well, maybe go out and look at it if you get a chance. And then maybe here in our upcoming
my
meeting, we
neighbor,
can
they'll
discuss
tell
whether or
you.
not we want to go forward with that.
I heard that Genesee County Park had bought that piece of property back there, is that true?
They didn't buy this one, they bought.
375 acres back there.
What's the
It's
size
in
of,
the work. I'm
what's the,
sorry.
that's right, what's the size of the one on Schuman Drive? Yeah. That's pretty small.
On the map. I don't know. I could find out more information and maybe people can, take a walk back there. I'm sure Mr. Pearson would allow them to.
Well, the one for Schuman, I would ask if we were to purchase that in this landlocked, how would we be able to get back and maintain it?
That's what I'd say, we would
Just
probably donate it to the park system.
Would the park system be interested in purchasing it at this lower price? Could we
It
resell
has to
that?
come to the village first.
Right.
And then after it goes to the village, it goes to public auction. We have first, well, the state has first right of refusal, and then we have.
Let's say we refuse it, let the parks buy it, if they're gonna buy that 375 acres back there, they probably want it anyway.
Would be a nice gesture of a small donation as well.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna want that. Why don't we just table this and then we'll look at that and everybody gets to.
In the meantime, can we have somebody reach out to the Parks and Rec to see if they're
That'd be a
interested?
good idea.
I will do that and, try to get some maps and put it on so that you could say you were interested.
We have to know by July 5th. Are we going to discuss this at the Tuesday meeting on the 28th?
What was that other piece then?
Fairview Drive,
Is that a lot?
7480.
Where it's at. I drove through there,
Fairview just comes into the subdivision and then it changes. Probably lot 11.
It'll be small, it won't buildable.
it's the low one. We can look at both of them, as long as we're all, look at both of them, and we'll come back on a Tuesday meeting and discuss what we want. Good? Think so?
So you want to, postpone the property to the
Tuesday. Whatever information you give us, anybody else who's got their specific one. Do you think we can gain access to that from Mr. Pearson? Did you ask him?
He probably could tell us what it's at.
I'll bet he could too, but if, I feel a lot better if someone just asked before we all just said, well,
Sure.
He's not a good shot.
so you said. Okay, I guess we're all set with that one, we have direction. I guess this is the last part of the public comment. Speak about whatever you want to, 3 minutes, please.
Thank you. Mark, I believe it was our last meeting, there was discussion about the DPW doing the water meeting 7 to 9:15. Has there been any further discussion on that? How's it working? Where's it stand? You can fill us in when you do your comments. Also, on, there's 2 items on the minutes that you just approved. One was number 8, conduct for elected officials, number 9 was personnel policy, and they didn't show up this time. And this has been off and on discussion for, what, almost a year. Where does that stand? I did not seeing on there that, what does that tell us? It's gonna get dropped or whatever. My last comment is also in the minutes of, that you approved, when you get to the last public comment, it says, 3 members of the public chose to comment. Well, I think that's incomplete. What did they comment on? This is your permanent record, and, what was said. I think that, that is incomplete, and for the record, we should indicate maybe what street they're talking about, what rules they're talking about, that there were people who were concerned about a item, and concerned enough to come to the microphone, but yet, there's no record. I think that's important. You can comment on those later when it's your turn, I appreciate it.
I definitely would like to reiterate what Mr. McAfee said about the flower beds. Definitely, I feel like a lot of the members of the community have expressed to this council how much we care about what our flower beds look like and what our flower pots look like. We're almost to July. I mean, we're halfway through June. Flower beds should have been approved like months ago. So I would like to be privy to that conversation, and I don't feel like it's been had publicly. And I think a 10-minute powwow about how we're gonna address it could just, really change something around. And by not even talking about it month after month, we're not doing anybody any favors. And then I'd also like to suggest that land in Fairview, a lot of communities have enacted plans where subdivisions or developments that are put in have certain land available that's community land for playgrounds. And I believe there was conversation, or that was supposed to be a part of Goodrich Meadows at one point. But I know there's a lot of families in Fairview, and I believe a lot of them, one of them is very active in the PTO. I think a lot of people in that neighborhood who would be willing to put in a small playground and work on fundraising and do that if they wanted to work with them to obtain the land and probably turn it over to their association or even keep it in the village's name. But I believe there's potential there for that lot. If it's not buildable, we could put in just a swing set and some mulch. I mean, we could do something easy, but I'm willing to help. So please let me know.
Anything else? If not, I'm gonna let council, anything council would like to have?
Does Fairview have an association?
No, no, we don't. We never have.
I guess with all of that, the plans in the DPW, I have spoke with the DPW. They're supposed to take that over, start watering and taking care of the plants here at the end of our fiscal year. Right now, our gardening lady is still responsible. The boys have been doing the watering now. Let's see, the watering, the flower pots, all that stuff, hopefully, our plan was to let the DPW, one worker from 7 o'clock to first break, dedicate his efforts to the flower gardens and such. And we'll see what happens after a little bit as far as if they can get on top of it, and then he can maybe scroll down and not spend quite so much time on it. We'll see how it works. We might have to resort to something else. But at least we're going to try to do that with the DPW. With that said, motion to adjourn.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Support.